Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And guys, I just got my last two wisdom teeth removed, and I really do wonder, have you guys ever gone through that procedure? If you're hearing some of that in my speech, let me know in the comment section down below. I notice it, but I do wonder if my voice really sounds that different or not. So let me know in the comment section down below. Having said that, today has been a really interesting day. We just got notice, I should say, that Brett Garlinghouse talked at the Aspen Security Forum, and oh boy, have a lot of articles been written about it already, even though it just happened about half an hour ago if you're watching this video when I publish it. And, well, yeah, as I just said, everybody's really ecstatic about it, and I want to share with you guys a little bit of a clip if I can. So let's quickly show you guys this 2-minute clip. I don't think it's going to be copyrighted. I think we will be fine. Let me quickly see if I can schedule it properly. Sound all the way on. There we go.
The one thing I would add is the other elephant in the room, I think, is the lack of clarity that has gone on in this industry. And you know, for years, I think the crypto industry has asked for that clarity, and yet, you know, we're still getting this kind of, hey, I mean, yesterday we heard it is clear, you know, yet a few weeks ago we had two commissioners and Pearson Roisman saying, you know, a letter, and I'll quote, you know, they said a decided lack of clarity for market participants around the application of the securities laws to digital assets in their trading. So to me, one of the elephants in the room is we can't keep saying it is clear and then trying to make it clear through enforcement. You see other G20 markets like the UK, like Japan, like Switzerland, like Singapore, who have been proactive and engaged, and that has helped these markets thrive in those countries. If the US wants to be a leader in this space, then we need to provide that clarity and not, you know, act like there is clarity. It has been extremely strategic on this point. As Segal already pointed out,
Let me quickly point out here already that what he's referring to is to Gary Gensler of yesterday, which we'll talk a little bit later about, don't worry, we got you covered. He basically yesterday explained how he thinks that the crypto market is already quite clear. And for a good part, the reason he said that is because of the ongoing lawsuits right now. Think about it. If Gary Gensler said anything but, no, it's already quite clear, then bada boom, bada bing, the Ripple lawyers would have had him by the throat. Because think about it. If it is not clear, and Gary Gensler notices that too, then Ripple has the best argument to make to say, yeah, even the SEC commissioner now says it. Because earlier some SEC commissioners have noted it, and the SEC was kind of quiet. Now, if Gary Gensler said anything except what he just said now, he would have been in a whole lot of trouble. And even though what he's saying is not true, it was the best move on his side. So, strategy, 100 points. Honesty, integrity, minus 50. And in the end of things, he has a job to protect. He has a function to protect. Then again, I would say that his job was supposed to be protecting the U.S. investors. And, well, these two things are not really on one line. Oh, I just messed up a little bit with sound.
Years ago, the U.S. is very late to this party, and the U.S.'s engagement, as we've heard, is, you know, not so far in supporting the United States. The Internet of Information, as we know it today, in part thrived because there was that regulatory clarity in the late 90s. And we're doing the opposite here. Here's a massive new industry that I believe without question will underpin the future of our financial systems, not just around payments where Ripple primarily works today, but more broadly than that. And if the U.S. doesn't get ahead of this, if we don't have that clarity and that certainty, and again, I thought in my judgment, you know, when you're dealing with an alcoholic who doesn't want to admit they have an alcohol problem, you know, to say that we have certainty, we have clarity is like the alcoholic saying, I don't have a problem. Like, this is the elephant in the room. And I think, you know, what you've heard from Segal, I think very eloquently, if we don't address this, we're going to fall further behind. Since the SEC filed their lawsuits against Ripple, we have signed dozens of new contracts with banks, with payment providers around the world, and I think only one here in the United States. You know, this lawsuit effectively has stymied the United States customers. Like, well, you know, if the SEC is doing this and some of these are public companies, like, we're not going to touch this until there's resolution. That just puts us further behind.
From a certain perspective, I'm going to give him the complete, you know, thumbs up for saying, yeah, it's true. right? He is saying now that a lot of U.S. companies will not touch Ripple because they are afraid, and from their perspective, rightfully so, right? I mean, obviously they can say, oh no, let's just go with it because Ripple's going to win, but they don't know that, and even Ripple doesn't necessarily know, because even though that would be the most just outcome, you never know exactly what's going to happen in the court of law. A lot of things can change, and a lot of people get convicted for things they've never done. And so, in the end of things, it could be that Ripple even loses this one, and it could have been bad for the public companies to associate themselves with Ripple. I get that. Now, the elephant in the room, obviously here referred to that part of him comparing it to a drunk, and that's also what most of the articles are written about right now, which I think is pretty funny. Today, at the Aspen Security Forum, Ripple's CEO didn't pull any punches when talking about the Securities and Exchange Commission perceived lack of clarity. The SEC has sued Ripple, claiming that XRP is a security. And quote, "In my judgment, if you're dealing with an alcoholic that doesn't want to admit they have an alcohol problem, to say we have certainty, we have clarity, is like the alcoholic saying, I don't have a problem. This is the elephant in the room." Now, yesterday, and that's where this is kind of a reply to, in another Aspen Security Forum chat, SEC Chair Gary Gensler stated that he sees the SEC's position as quite clear, reiterating the Howey and other tests for classifying a security, and he believes that the clarity has existed for several years since former SEC Chair Jay Clayton outlined the same position. Quote, "A lot of this is clearer than some of the entrepreneurs would like to think," said Gensler yesterday. Garlinghouse is personally a defendant in the SEC case and didn't go into any case details. However, clearly the topic is somewhat relevant. With XRP's $33 billion market cap, Garlinghouse has a few billion reasons to bang the drum. For years, I think the crypto industry has asked for clarity, and yesterday we heard it is clear. Yet, a very few weeks ago, we had two SEC commissioners say exactly the opposite, which is so worrying / it makes me curious, like, how? Why? Gensler pointed out Gensler's point yesterday was that it is clear, but it's perhaps not the position desired by entrepreneurs. I think that's pretty dumb. Gensler also mentioned that the SEC has brought 75 cases in the sector. Today, Garlinghouse implied that those cases were not relevant to Ripple's situation. I agree. He claimed that 37 cases did not involve digital assets, and another 37 cases were initial coin offerings, many of which were frauds. So only one of these 75 involves a digital asset outside of an ICO. And for obvious reasons, I'm not going to talk too much about that case, he said. The reason being the 75th is against Ripple. So, yeah, saying it's clear, saying they've done a lot against it, is an overstatement, because it's really not true. A listener asked why Ripple hasn't moved out of the US. To some degree, the answer is, we are, replied Garlinghouse. Ripple is hiring more people abroad for these reasons and has a significant presence in Singapore and London. There was some speculation earlier about opening their headquarters in Dubai. I think that one got stalled a little bit, and obviously they are not going to do too much on the outside if there's still hope for the US. You don't want to switch everything over just quite yet until it's necessary, yet they are preparing for a move. I still believe that they are going to be gone really quickly if need be. Ripple's ODL product uses XRP. Any new customer are now onboarded to a non-US company, because that's, I guess, how it has worked now, that they basically switched over their main structure to something that's not in the United States to make sure that whatever happens here, these guys are not connected to the US entity, which might get messed up, I think. Being a company based here in the US, I want to see the United States thrive in this area. I want to work with the US government to provide this clarity, to provide the certainty, but trying to provide that clarity through enforcement action is not, I think, the right answer. Should we fully give up on the United States? ? I'm not willing to go there yet. Two things. One, think about it from a certain perspective. Brett Garlinghouse / Ripple is most likely one of the biggest companies out there to give money and spend money on getting this stuff regulated. Something to think about. And I just heard somewhere that Ripple has been given $5 million. I'm not exactly sure by who or what exactly happened. I just saw a little bit of a small rumor somewhere that they're given $5 million for this SEC battle. I'm going to be doing a little bit more research into that, and I'll give you all an update, so don't worry about it. Let's quickly see. There's two other things here. First of all, Thinking Crypto posted an article. If you're an XRP holder, you have to watch this interview. Former SEC official and lawyer weighs in on the SEC Ripple XRP lawsuit. His name is Joseph Hall. And I haven't watched it just quite yet. I will do that though. Don't worry about it. I got you guys. Just give me a little bit of time and I'm going to check through it. I think it's about to be really interesting because it's a former SEC official talking about the SEC Ripple lawsuit. Then, SEC chair labels crypto Wild West, asks for more powers. If you want a little bit of a summary of yesterday, even though it's going to be coming up, Gary Gensler just said, it's quite clear, not the result you want, but it's quite clear. Yet, we need a more strong rulebook, basically, to make sure we have oversight over it all. Because of the bill that was proposed and because of some other regulators and legislators, I should say, ideas, they want to kind of exclude the SEC from having all the power. And the SEC is now saying, no, we want to have more power to make sure that everything is safe and good. Having said that, guys, if you're looking for a platform to trade, make sure you check out Bybit. Right now, you have a couple of things. One, you have a $1,610 deposit bonus. And two, you have a 10% fee discount if you're using my link. Link is down below for about 30 days or so if you sign up now. So check it out. Link is down below. I'll see you guys again in another crypto video.